Hey everybody, Carl and Erynn here. We're going to give you a great tune in C for Patreon folks. Old Straw Bonnet. It's a two-part tune and has a little bit of Irish feel to it, you might think, and I think it's a lot of fun to back up on the guitar. So we'll get Erynn to play it for us a couple times, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of backing it up. Old Straw Bonnet from Kentucky and Roy Bennett. Nice fiddling, and that's a fiddly tune.
Yes,
Old Straw Bonnet. And if I was going to have a bonnet, I think Old Straw would make a good one. So I'll scoot in here for a little bit, and I think what we'll do is think about just C tunes for a second. So I'll scoot this a little bit closer for us. So just think about the key of C for a minute. And our basic chords are going to be C, F, and G, and those work nicely in the first part here. And what I've done in the guitar tab that you'll find is to add a little bit of some bass walking with the minor chord that goes along with C or F, especially. So C to A minor kind of sound, and an F to a D minor sound, and then just a G back to C. So let's just start with C, F, and G for a second. So C to F, it goes back to C, the basic structure, and a quick G, and it does C and F. I'm alternating the bass, C and a quick G to C. So that's the first part. And I'm just alternating the bass 5 and 4, F, 4 and 5, C, G, without any fancy work there. C, F, C, and G to C. So that's the basic structure of the first part. So what I've done, and I guess maybe in some Irish tunes and things, I do a little more of I play a C chord, and I go to the F, and I'll play the F 4th string and pick up my 3rd finger and get that open D minor sound, kind of a jazzy F sound, or a relative minor, they call it, the D minor, back to C, and I pick up my 3rd finger on the 5th string, get the same thing from C to A minor sort of sound, and a G, back to C. So let's try that as a little exercise, which is adds a little more. You might be more work. Depends on how fast the tune's going. If it's going really fast, you might want to stay on just the basic, alternate basses for C and F. But if you got a little time there, or it makes it a little prettier. So I'm going to go C and just up to F. Pick up that 3rd finger, get that D string open. C, open 5th string. G, right back to C. And you could walk the bass up to F maybe, and do that minor open 4th string. And then the C with the open 5th, down to G, back to C. So that's the first part with some pretty notes in there. Maybe a little walk, experiment. And then I think in the tab I've got something like this. I walk up to the F and put that pretty note, and I do the C with the open note, and I walk a bluesy walk down to G. That's the first part. I'll do it one more time there. And let's try it one time. And I think the fiddler, Roy, he kind of does each part once sometimes, and he'll throw twice sometimes. So on the tab, I've got it just once through. But feel free, the fiddler might want to play it. You got to kind of just be on guard because they might do it twice, one part or both parts. So you just got to be ready. And that's part of the fun of playing backup guitar. You got to really be tuned in with the fiddler, and y'all just are in simpatico, you might say. So here's the first part. I'm going to do it one time, just play. I'm going to repeat it, but I'm going to do just the C, F, with the alternate basses without the prettier notes one time. So we'll say we're starting to walk up to C. So I'm just doing C, 5 and 4. And then F, I'll dance that bass just 4 and 5. C, and a G. See, that's without any fancy work there. Second time, let's try it with the walk up to F, and that pretty note, open 4th string, and the C with the open 5th string down to the G. That works pretty good. So for the second part, what happens, and again, you could just hold a C chord a lot of this. I'm putting these little bit of minor sounds because the melody where it goes up, I'm putting a little A minor, da 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 da. That's just what I hear. And each guitar player is going to do what they kind of hear, what their reference points, what they've heard, and what they're kind of aiming for. You know, if they want it prettier, they might do a little more minor. If they want it more strident or straightforward, they might leave the minor sounds out. But here's what I've got for the second part. I just have that C chord with the alternate bass, and I do an A minor. I just pick up and get that, I'm doing what they call an A minor 7. It's just a 2-finger C with the 5th string open and a G. And then you have a C again. This time I'm going to do a little bass walk, bluesy walk, 2, 1, and open to a D7 and a G. And it's going to do that again. C, alternate the bass, A minor 7 to a G, and this time you have a nice F. You can just alternate the bass and walk back to C. In the chords, I think it really goes at the end of F and a quick G. So sometimes your bass walk will take the place of a G chord. You know, if you're walking up to C, that's kind of a G sound right there. So the whole second part with that A minor, let's just hear that for a second. D, 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 bop, bop, A minor, G. Walk the 4th string D7 to a G. C, alternate that A minor, and G, now F. And I just dance the bass and walk up. The second part, one more time, A minor 7 G, C, walk the 4th string, D7 G, C, A minor, again, A minor 7 really, G, F. This time maybe I'll throw that G in there. First part with the pretty notes, and I'll just do each part once this time. Close to what the tab is here. Second part coming up. So pretty nice. This would be a nice tune to even try to, you know, you can get a little on the smaller strings and do smaller chords, or you can even try to play the melody a little bit. And I highly recommend trying to find a little melody picking on the guitar. If you play a mandolin or another melodic inclined instrument, the guitar works good for some of these tunes. But one thing to just think about if you're doing smaller sounds, just say you're doing this little 2-finger C here, you know, your C without the, just thinking of my, that. So you'd have a nice little, you get, of course, with the smaller string sets, which I'm a big advocate of, if you haven't figured that out by now, just the C chord with the 2nd string, 1st finger, 1st fret, and the 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd finger, just focusing on those strings you're outlining there, 4, 3, and 2, picking that, and just doing an F chord on those same 3 strings, which is, you know, just 3, 2, and 1, just kind of picking the same note even, and the open strings are G, and maybe go down to C there. That'd be a lovely first part, just to vary it a little bit. And you could have a little walk. That'd be very nice. Kind of a violin cabbage sound, right? So pretty nice. And then if you're doing other string sets, there's all kind of things you could do. And I guess I'll just let's just say we're staying in the same string set for a second though. That same C. Your A minor is just going to be adding that 2nd fret. Get kind of a common note a lot there. Maybe end up with that. So that's pretty nice there, just focusing on that one string set. I don't want to get carried away, but just doing that C. And one really nice thing to notice before I wind up here is just you raise that G note up, the open 3rd string up to the A, and it becomes an A minor chord. So it kind of sounds like the old tumbling tumbleweed sound. It's a nice little evocative sound. So C to A minor, and the G's open strings. back to that C. The D7 is just that, play your regular D7 chord, but I'm just playing again the 4, 3, and 2. I'm not even fingering the first string. You could. And the open, same strings there. Same thing. Go to the tumbling tumbleweeds. G, and then the F is that. Maybe wind up. So keep in mind, that's just a different sound. If you're backing up a fiddler and they're playing that tune a long time, it's nice to have some things to try, some variations to try on your own there. So what I'll do is play it one more time and wind up with the backup there. I'll just do it one time through, again like I did before. And here it goes, something like this. So you got that nice slow 1, 2, 3. Ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. Second part. I'm going to do it to the smaller string sets one time. It's the first part, just kind of the bottom cabbage territory. Second part, same kind of way. Tumbling tumbleweeds. So you're just good. You get good at traveling those string sets, and you have a little more, a little more melodic potential there if you get comfortable playing on the higher or lower strings. But I think you'll enjoy Roy Bennett, Kentucky Fiddler's Old Straw Bonnet, and just have fun with your backup there. And remember, you can always do a little less and then add more as you go and make it pretty or make it less so, just depending on how the fiddler's playing. So have fun.